Afflictions in the mouth are also problematical for a lot of people. Something like a toothache can upset your budget as well as your schedule, especially if it comes at night and you have to get up and call a dentist, and the dentist has to come to attend you in the middle of the night. That will be very straining on your budget. So there are some things that you can do that will sometimes tide you over and get you through a night. Or can sometimes get you over the toothache. One of those is clove oil. You can find this sometimes at a grocery store or at a department store or anywhere they sell aromatic oils. Just get a little bit of clove oil and take up something like a Q-tip or the end of a Q-tip that has the cotton on it. Wet it with the clove oil and put it right against the tooth that aches. Now, as you put it there, you will immediately recognize that your gum begins to have a little anesthesia. And it isn't long before the tooth nerve itself begins to have a little anesthesia. And that's, of course, very delightful because the toothache begins to subside. Another thing for a toothache is a little compress made of charcoal. Take a little piece of paper towel, which you can cut in a little square, maybe an inch or 2 inches in a square, and just make up a little thick paste of charcoal, put it on that little square, and I like to have people put it on a spoon, and then they can maneuver it a little better back into the jaw where the tooth is aching, and in this way they can get it into the proper place and pull the jaw down or the lip down over it and hold it in place. And often within 5 minutes or so, the charcoal paste will cause the toothache to be going away. Another thing in the mouth that you can use the charcoal for is a gum boil. Sometimes you'll have a little swelling on a gum, or you may even have an abscess, and the charcoal compress is good for that. If you have a tooth abscess, you do need the services of a skilled dentist. But before you can get that, you may need to treat it somewhat yourself. So the charcoal compress will sometimes take the pain and swelling out of the gum where the abscess is, and so will aloe vera. If you have aloe vera growing in your home, take a little bit of a blade of one of the blades, little segment of it, peel one side of it only. Leave the other side unpeeled because that makes it stiff and holds it stiff long enough for you to get it into place. So then you put it in the gutter, either up or down, where you have the abscess tooth, and that will also help to remove the inflammation and pain from the abscess tooth. Turmeric mouthwashes, hot turmeric mouthwashes, can also be helpful. Take a tablespoonful or even a teaspoonful of turmeric and stir it in a large glass of water and gargle with that, or do your mouthwash with that. You can then expectorate that, or you can swallow it, either way. If you swallow some of it, it acts as an anti-inflammatory agent. It is also a local anti-inflammatory agent on your abscess tooth. Now, aphthous ulcers or mouth ulcers can be treated extremely simply. When you recognize that you're getting a mouth ulcer, you feel it there, or you see that swollen taste bud on your tongue, and you know that the mouth ulcer is coming. At that point, don't delay. At that point, drink a glass full of water every 10 minutes for an hour. And in most cases, the mouth ulcer will not develop. But if it does develop, then you can use the turmeric mouthwash, or take a little paste of turmeric and simply put it on the place where you have the mouth ulcer, and it will help a lot. But even after it develops, if you've neglected it or it comes on and you weren't able to take the glass full of water every 10 minutes for an hour at the beginning, when you do recognize that it's there, then take the water. Sometimes people will get a mouth ulcer to develop from a place where they have bitten the tongue or bitten the inside of the mouth. Again, it's the glass full of water every 10 minutes for an hour, and in most cases, the water itself will have a healing effect on the place where you have bitten it, and the interior of the mouth heals and so does the entire gastrointestinal tract. Has an extremely fast rate of healing. So one of the fastest tissues in the body to heal, and so it will often heal very nicely without any further ado. And now, Don Miller, it looks as if you've got some nice things here to show.
Well, every time you talk, I think of other things about what you're talking about.
You've got a show and tell.
I do have a show and tell, but I want to tell something about what she was just talking about. Because I used to be plagued with these canker sores or mouth ulcers. And I find, and I have found in my experience, if I allow myself to become dehydrated, I am much more likely to develop a mouth ulcer. And so if I'm brushing my teeth and I jam my gums with my toothbrush, I know I'm going to get a mouth ulcer. At that point, as Dr. Toothache says, I drink a glass of water every 10 minutes for an hour. And normally, it will not develop. Other things you can use on a mouth ulcer, I have used at times golden seal paste, a little bit of golden seal. I just sprinkle it right onto the ulcer once it's developed, and it has a very nice antiseptic effect and will sometimes completely take it away overnight. I've also used things like, I do a real strange thing to myself. I'll do anything to get rid of a mouth ulcer. I have tried putting cayenne pepper directly on the mouth ulcer, trying to cauterize it, because maybe that came from the thought years ago. I was stationed in Key West, Florida, and a good friend of mine who was a doctor, I had a real bad one on the inside of my lip, and he says, no problem, I'll take care of it. Went into the clinic there at the Naval Air Station. He took out this long stick, looked like a match with a black head on it, and he opened my lip up and he dried it off, and he took this thing and just touched it. Well, it was silver nitrate. It burned like fire for about 5 seconds, and that's the last I ever felt of that particular canker sore. It was gone with the wind. And so sometimes the cayenne pepper will help. Sometimes putting salt on it. I put salt, I've done everything I could to get rid of these things. But I find that if I keep from traumatizing myself, and if I keep myself well hydrated, I'm a whole lot better off.